Well, we're almost near the end of the summer term and this whole academic year, and I don't understand how time works often because it seems to have gone very quickly and slowly at the same time. And that's probably a similar experience to many of our children and to you. This is our meadow. I've mentioned it before, but it is growing spectacularly, and it is a message of hope for us all, that we learn from those little seedlings that we never thought would actually come up because the ground was always too boggy and wet during the winter, and the soil is not very good anyway. But it's come up, and it will come up better next year and the year after, and that's what we hope as the school grows into its biggest it's ever been. We're almost full. We have one more year left to go, and then we'll be full. In this video, I thought I'd share with you a little bit of the things that we are thinking about in changing, and also how we're planning for the future for the next year. You'll know that Mr. Hayward, James Hayward and Ash Smith are leaving in a few weeks' time, and they're leaving on to do some great things. One, to be a head teacher in a local school, and Ash Smith is going to become an educational psychologist with a doctorate degree that he'll be starting in September. We know that this always causes challenge when people leave an organisation, as it is for us, but we've been working very hard since we found out that Ash and James will be leaving, and they've handed over all their relevant pieces of work, and we're well prepared. Miss Bates has come, and she's now the Senko and is working very closely with Mrs. Durning in developing our special needs provision and also the inclusive and diverse community provision across the whole school. I think what's important for you all to know is the phase leaders are in place from September. They've had a whole term of induction and learning about the role, and from September they'll be taking on the leadership of their phase clusters. So Mr. Drain is in charge of year 5 and 6, and so any worries or matters related to your children, if you're in year 5 and 6, will go to first of all the class teacher and then Mr. Drain, and Miss Miller will be in year 3 and 4. So similarly, if your children are in year 3, 4, all matters go to the class teacher first of all, but then to Miss Miller. And for year 1 and year 2, it's Miss Lang. And for reception and nursery, it'll be Miss Bray. They're a great group of people. We've done so much work in induction and onboarding them, and they are powered up and excited about their new roles. Whilst a lot of the time this year we've been looking at the COVID risk assessment and managing the challenges of kind of public health matters in the school, we've also been working really hard in developing the curriculum. We're constantly evolving our ideas and responding to the children's needs and also to the matters of the day. What's really important for children, what education really matters for them and for our community and for the world in which they'll be growing in the coming years. I've mentioned before, haven't I, that our children, your children, will be retiring near the end of this century, and that is quite a big mission to try and understand what that might be like. I grew up when there was no technology in classrooms. In the last 20 years there's been a huge amount of technology. I even had a blackboard in my first classroom. So in those 20 years things have changed so much. So we don't really know what the next 75 years will be for your children. But what we are committed to in our school and our curriculum design is to think about what skills and what knowledges and what mindsets do they need to be the future makers, to be able to have the ability to respond to the challenges that come up in their lives, in their communities, in their world. That's what we're trying to do. And I've been really grateful not only to the team here but to some parents and also members of the university and others who have contributed to those ideas. one of the things we notice is that above all the subjects, writing is the aspect of their learning that suffered the most during lockdown, and so we've been working hard on that, and you'll be glad to know that writing is the subject that really has shown progress above other subjects, which is great, but there's still a lot of work to do. We're going to ask you to carry on doing handwriting practice every day if possible at home. Things like painting, holding the pencil correctly, really focusing on the quality of presentation and handwriting, and we'll be giving some instruction how to do that before you break up for the summer holiday. That will really help us so that when we start in September they've got those repetitive skills in place. There's many things to celebrate. The fact your children are amazing is the first one. I've said that many times before, and the teachers and the learning coaches and governors who come to visit the school have all noticed, there's some of them over there now, have all noticed that the children have a wonderful way of building community in their classrooms and in their school. Obviously things go wrong, otherwise we wouldn't be a democratic community. Things do go wrong, children upset each other, hello! They might say unkind things to each other, but we will respond, and we're listening to the children, and if we know what's going on, we help those children understand, and our purpose is to educate them. You can't legislate for children to do the right thing, but we have to educate them, and I know that I've been working in partnership with my colleagues and also parents in helping children understand and fine-tune their behaviours and attitudes to learning, and that's been a really valuable experience. And we'll continue doing that as we go into September, into the next academic year. And we must also congratulate our Year 6s. They're our second Year 6 group of children to leave us. They are the originals, really. They joined us 6 years ago, and now they've graduated from primary school. They've successfully left us to go on to secondary schools, and we will miss them a lot.